Hey guys, welcome to Monday Night Mashup with Dan. Little different, but I'm hoping you'll enjoy it. I'm here this evening with a brew dog and my trusty pen, which Manny has instructed that I must use. I'm here to talk to you about a list that I'm thinking of taking. I've got a couple of tournaments lined up. And I've got a bit like an Imperial Soup list written, ready to go for it. But the thing is, there's 3 different codexes that I'm using, and I can't read all 3 codexes. So what I was hoping is that you guys would give me a bit of direction on where to go, maybe some helpful tips and tricks. Luke, how are you, mate? You alright? Evening, buddy. I know you play a lot of Imperial Guard, which is one of the big sections of the list that I could do with some tips on. So I'm glad you're joining us. I'm glad you're here. So what I'll do, I'll paste the list into the comments now. There you are. So basically, just to go through it quickly with you, I've got 3 tank commanders. They've all got Punisher, Gatling cannons and plasma cannons. One of them has a las cannon, the other 2 have heavy bolters. So they're my 3 HQs in my battalion. I have a platoon commander. He's going to be the warlord with the Kurov's Aquila, and he's just going to kind of sit in the back and stay safe. I've got 3 infantry squads just to make it into a battalion. I've then got 3 Dark Talons, just to fly forward and put out God knows how many shots and all that kind of juicy goodness, which I think is fantastic for 200 points. I've then got a Knight detachment. They're going to be Crast that get the rerolls in combat. I've got a Gallant and 2 Warglaves. And there's no upgrades on any of those. That comes to around 1998 points, I believe. It's as you guys might have seen, because we went on. I went live when I was at the England practice this weekend. I've played 3 games with it. I think it's really cool. It puts out so many shots. It's a big pressure list. The Gallant, I'm normally putting a 2+ save on him and a 4+ invuln, which normally gets boosted to a 3+ invuln. So you know, with those, with the Gallant, with that, and the 2 Warglaves, and then you've got the Dark Talons flying up the board as well, putting pressure on, and then the tank commanders just kind of rumble up 5 inches at a time behind them and put a bit of pressure on the enemy. I just think, you know, it's got a lot of potential. It's got some units just to sit at the back and claim objectives. It's got pressure to push forward. It's with the Gallant and the Warglaves. I imagine they're going to take the middle ground quite often. So yeah, I just think it's a good all-round list, which is the kind of thing I'm after. I'm not really into my extreme lists. The other thing that I was really trying to take into consideration was making a mech heavy list with orcs drop in, and everyone loves orcs. And also you've got in the Vigilus book, you've got that Imperial Guard special detachment with just the ridiculous stratagems where every guardsman fights twice. You're just going to see armies with loads of catachans that are just fighting twice or fighting before they die, all over the place. And just the kind of the game in general, I think is really horde based. ITC is becoming more popular, and because of that, the ITC is based on stand somewhere, kill something, and nothing does that better than hordes, unfortunately. So yeah, the game is really geared towards hordes, and I think everyone kind of got that impression with chapter approved as well. So I think I think everyone is going to be gearing up to kill hordes. So I kind of felt that by taking a very mech heavy list, people would have a lot of these, a lot of their anti-infantry guns aren't really going to do much against it. So it's kind of me. This is kind of me replying to what I think is going to be the meta, but it puts out that many shots. I mean, there's 120 Punisher Gatling cannon shots in that, along with the Hurricane Bolter shots from the Dark Talons. So the list itself is very anti-infantry as well. So I really think it's got legs. I'm really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to playing it. What's that Christmas list doing up? Well, I might have got a few of these things for Christmas. I think that might be. I think that might be where you're going with it. Yeah. So sorry. One thing I forgot to mention. I want to take the tank commanders. The guard battalion as a general as Vostroyan. I want to take them as Vostroyan because then the Punisher Gatling cannons, they go from a 24 to a 30-inch range, and with their 5-inch movement, that's a 35-inch threat range, which doesn't sound like much, but I think it's very important. I think it's really important for the list to just have that extra threat. Just, because they are going to kind of sit mid to backfield, that extra range is really going to help them, I feel. They also have a really nice stratagem, the Vostroyans do, in that you can make a unit +1 to hit. So then your tank commanders are hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, which is awesome. With 40 shots and God knows, what does it average at? 4 plasma shots and 3 heavy bolter shots. Could be really, really good, I think. It's got a lot of potential. So, what I was hoping is, someone in chat, maybe you've played against Guard, maybe you've played against Knights, Dark Talons, whatever it may be. And you've thought, actually this guy did this against me, or maybe if you play with them, there's this really interesting little trick that I've got that could really help Dan out on the weekend. If you could post up and let me know, that'd be brilliant, because reading 3 codexes is a lot. It takes a lot of time, it's a lot of stratagems, it's a lot of warlord traits. So I'm looking for a bit of advice, really, guys. And this is live in the video now, but even afterwards we always keep track of comments and messages, so please drop me a message. And the plan is, because Manny, like I said, he's just like he was going through what he was going through stuff that he's doing for his dissertation, and it's mad. Like the amount of work that he's putting into it, you've got to go into so much detail. He's really putting his heart and soul into it. So I didn't want to. He's concentrating on that, which is why I'm here. But he's going to be away for a couple of weeks. So I'm with you for this Monday mashup and the next one. So what I thought, we'll roll it all up into a nice tidy little ball, and I'd go through with you guys my list that I want to take to the tournament this Saturday, and then I'm gonna go there. I'll try and keep you guys updated with pictures and whatever it may be while I'm there. And then on the next Monday, I'll tell you guys what I learnt, lists I played that were really good, that I thought were quite exciting. So it'll be a couple of weeks where I hope that we can all learn something new, which would be great. What have we got? Tom, I tell you what, Tom. Right, I played a couple of games with it at the practice. It's so many shots. It's mad. Like my back was like end of game 2, game 3. My back was getting a bit sore. Leaning over the table, rolling that many dice is pretty mad. There's just like I said, the 120 shots from the Punishers. The works out, what is the 72 bolter shots from the Dark Talons? Because I mean, they could move 40 inches, so they're pretty much always going to be in rapid fire range. You've got the order to make the infantry squads rapid fire too. That's God knows how many shots when they're running up the board. Oh, it's just, and then the Imperial Knight just going in with 15 attacks. It's awesome. It's a really fun list to play, and it's great. I really enjoyed it. What's the next one? Add. I presume, yeah, that is add, definitely. What house? The household. The Knights are Crast add. Just because I'm using the Warglaves, and I've in general I find the Warglaves to be quite useless. If I'm totally honest with you, they're in there for a bit of extra pressure and for the 3 CPs, to be honest. But I find if they're Crast, their damage output isn't too bad because their melter gun is just so bad. It never does anything at all. So they need to kind of keep up with it with their combat potential, and with being Crast, with the reroll hits, they do actually do a bit of damage. Not as much as I'd like for 162 points, but yeah, kind of enough. Mick, I'm planning to take Vostroyans with Deathwatch. Interesting. Well, as you know, Steve, our resident Glasshammer Gallant, more info to come on that soon, very soon. He's using Deathwatch and he's just loving it. He's loving life with them. He's kicking ass, taking names. He's smashing anything he's coming up in front of. There were loads of good strats and everything. The one thing, you see, this is the thing as well with this list that I'm taking. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to paste the list in the chat again, just in case anyone missed it. With Deathwatch, see, the great thing is that they mostly start off the board. So what I was looking to do originally was to take something that's because half of your army has to sit on the board, and I was very much going for that 50-50 split. You have half your army on the board, you have half off the board, or you at least have that option, just to kind of nullify that alpha strike. But as the kind of list developed, as I played a few games, this is kind of what it's turned into. And it just so happens that I don't deep strike anything whatsoever. But what I have found is that because I always put the 2+ save relic on the knight, I generally use the what's it called? Fortified positions, I think it's called. So if you don't go first, I use that for 2 CP, and I instantly get everything gets a 2+ save, which is great. The tank commanders, the Dark Talons, the little knights, because yes, even the little Warglaves, they don't have the Titanic keyword, so they get a 2+ save. The knight already has one, so it's a really resilient list, even if it doesn't go first, which is really good. I really like that. Mick. Yeah. 2+ wounding storm bolters is great. I love it. I just love how cheap they are. I love that there's a marine option that can really do well. It's great. Oh, Ad, you reckon that your Warglaves do work? Interesting. A lot of people have asked me as soon as they've seen them, and I put them on the board on the weekend. They were like, how are you finding them? Because most people said, oh, I've tried them, but they were absolutely rubbish. And to be honest, I'm kind of finding they're a little rubbish. But for the pressure that they put on for 162 points is good. It's more of a case of they just soak up firepower. They've never got there and done anything. I'm just hoping that people overestimate them and direct some firepower towards them, to be totally honest with you. But the Dark Talons are a great option. Yeah, the Dark Talons, oh, they're crazy. They're just they're great because they've got that -1 to hit. They can get that 2+ save to start with. They move 40 inches. But like I said, they've got 24 24 shots when they're in rapid fire range, which is quite easy to get into. But they have, I don't know what it is, but basically if you're not shooting something that hasn't got fly, they get +1 to hit. So that's 24 shots, and they hit on 2s with most things if it hasn't got fly, which is great. It makes them so efficient. And then you've got that big cannon as well. I mean, it's a bit of a so and so that, because it's D3 shots, and then you're hitting on 3s, and you've got it's strength 10 minus God knows what. But I find it very rarely does anything, to be totally honest with you. But they're a threat, and people really seem to prioritise them when they're coming to shooting back. And to be quite honest, I'm happy for them to shoot the Dark Talons rather than the Knights or the Tank Commanders. So yeah, I think they're great. I mean, they've also got their bombs as well. You know, they fly over a unit, and they can only do it once per game. But they pick a unit, and say you've got 10 models in it, you roll 10 dice, and for every 4+ you roll, they take more wounds. That's just on something that moves 40 inches. That is awesome. That is brilliant. So can't really complain at that. A little kind of I've got a flyer wing with 3 of them in. I think they're brilliant. I think they're great. I would recommend anyone should use them in their Imperial soup. They're a great little plug-in. Just remember, if you do want them, Glasshammer Gaming will get you a nice tasty discount on those. So hit us up if you want any. Luke, would a Vulture be a better option? Twin Punishers. Vulture. Luke, correct me if I'm wrong. Is a Vulture a Forge World item, or is it in the Codex? Because that is quite important. Because only kind of half the events out there allow Forge World. But that could be a really good shout. Do you know how many points Vultures are? If you could let me know how many points they are, that'd be good. We could do like a little bit of a comparison between them and Dark Talons. The melters are my favourite thing about them. Well, you're crazy. To bait, I used them in a Night Mashup to bait rotate iron shields. That and against Eldar, they can kill wave serpents, which are normally tough. But like the wave serpents are like -1 as well to hit. Maybe -2, reducing one of the damage as well with D3 shots. Have you been sniffing glue? Is that what you've been doing? Either that, or you've been borrowing Manny's dice. That's what you've been doing, because mine just seem to do absolutely bugger all. So, Mick, I found that the Warglaives worked well for me when I used House Morton. That's interesting. House Morton, Mick. I tell you what, mate, you're gonna have to jump in here and let me know what the hell House Morton does. Is that even an AdMech, or is that an Imperial Knight household? I have absolutely no idea. Jump in, Mick, if you're still in the chat. I don't know if you're still here or not. If you could jump in and let me know why House Morton, that'd be very interesting. I'd like to know that. Jordan, welcome to the video, mate. Good to see you. So that's the kind of list roundup. That's good. I've put it in there. Oh, hang on, Mick. +1 to hit in combat, and the strat that ignores all minuses while shooting. Oh, I used it against you when we last played. Yes, I remember now. How could I forget, Mick? How could I forget losing 3 Crimson Hunter Exarchs in my first turn when I hadn't even moved anything? Yeah, that is really harsh. Yeah, I do remember that. +1 when you +1 to hit when you're in combat. See, that's good. I mean, that doesn't really benefit my Gallant because he's already hitting on 2s, so I kind of lose all the benefits for him, really. And with him being an Imperial house, I can't kind of put them back up to their top level either. Their top number of wounds. Although Bob showed me a really interesting strat that the Imperial Knights have on the weekend. They have a strat where when they die, they can either shoot as they would normally, or fight as they would normally, which on an Imperial Knight is madness. And he was using it on a Valiant, which I absolutely love the Valiant. I prefer the Valiant to the Castellan. I think it's such an awesome model, and it's got a harpoon, which is amazing. It's so exciting. It's great. Like a flat 10 damage weapon. But I mean, if you imagine running that Valiant forward and just, it doesn't matter about it getting worse. You not being able to put it back up on its top level because it has the flamer, the 3d6 flamer that automatically hits, and he puts the relic on it so it rerolls wounds. So it's running forward, doing all this damage, putting all this pressure on the enemy, and then when they kill it, you use that strat to make it shoot again, so it does all this damage again before it leaves. And so that was a really tasty little combo that I thought was great. Just something that kind of piqued my interest. So maybe if you guys are you're using these Imperial Knights, could be a good thing to put on the table. Ad uses the blue Glasshammer gaming dice. Good choice, my friend. And I can actually see why all of your Warglaves are hitting, because Glasshammer dice are broken, man. I mean, that's what Manny uses, and look how lucky he gets. Good choice. Benefits the Power Fist. Oh yeah, true. But you do miss the Mechanicus ones. Happy New Year, Dad. My dad is currently enjoying his pikey routes, and he's out in the middle of a field in a caravan somewhere, being a bit of a loser. So instead of staying here and having a few beers with his son, so you enjoy yourself in the cold field, going out in the middle of the night, walking across a field if you want to win. You have fun with that. Luke, they are 152 points each on a Forge World, and they have 2 Punisher cannons. That's 40 shots. 152 points. Wow, that's really, really good. That is interesting. Luke, I will have a look into that, mate. That could be a great shout. And you know what else that could do? That could, if I were to take those, that would free up a detachment for me. I mean, it would save me 150 points straight off the bat, but it would save me a detachment. And I don't know if any of you guys saw my live video with Marcus. He was splitting up he had 2 Imperial Guard detachments, and he made one of them Cadian and one of them Vostroyan to benefit from all the orders and the relics that they both have, which I really like the look of. But obviously I can't do because I've already got 3 detachments. So maybe if I were to take them, that would allow me to do that, which could be really interesting. So yeah, I'll have a look into them. Appreciate the tip, Luke. Thank you very much. Yeah, cool. So but yeah, what I'll do, I'll work on the list through the week. I'll probably post up how I'm getting on. I have a couple of have a bit of conversion work to do with some of my models, because I like to make my models work a bit, and they tend to have more than one weapon option and that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm planning on doing. So I'll probably post up actually and show you guys what my list looks like before the weekend. And then, like I said, I'll update you as much as I possibly can while I'm there, and then we'll come back next Monday at the same time and yeah, we'll talk about what it is that I learned, and hopefully let you guys know something that you didn't know before, so you don't fall for it like I probably will do on Saturday, fall hook, line and sinker into somebody's trap. So yeah, but that's great. So yeah, hopefully Mick, which event is it? It is the winter warm up. Yeah, that's a good point actually. It's the winter warm up at Element Games. Element are known for running really good tournaments. It's a great venue. It's got a bar on site with some amazing mango cider. It's just great. I mean, buy a ticket and go to Element Games just to get a pint of that cider while you're drinking. It's great. Yeah, like I said, it's a brilliant event. So, and I believe they might. Please correct me if I'm wrong. They might still have tickets. Yes, Mick. Does it still have tickets? I think they do. I apologise if I'm lying to you, but I think they do have tickets. Only a few though. But like I said, get there if you can. Please say hello if you see me there. I'd love to talk to you guys, and I mean, giving me some tips on my list would probably be a bit late on the morning, but I'm hoping to take this list to Cali as well. Which is also held at Element Games. The Cali, I don't have a ticket, and Cali tickets go like that because, as I said, everyone knows they run brilliant tournaments. So I'm kind of in the market for a ticket. I'm ready and raring to go. It's an event I've been to for the past 5 years. Something crazy like that. I'd hate to miss it. So yeah, hopefully I can grab one. There's always some dropouts before a tournament, so hopefully the ticket gods and Tim, the TO, is kind to me, and I managed to grab one. Because yeah, you know, it's again, it'd be nice for me to go there and cover that event for everyone as well. I'll take all the all pictures and update everyone and show everyone that it is a really good weekend, and hopefully get people involved. So Cali aren't honouring resells. No, they're not. But what he's doing is I think Tim said he had another event going on the day. They're going to reduce it down to 90 man, I think it was, just to try and kind of fit everyone in. But he said if it goes under 90 man, he'll just put the tickets back up on the website, and then people can grab them from there. So keeping my eyes peeled, keeping my refresh button clicked, and hopefully I can grab one. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to see everyone again. It's always a good laugh with some good people. But yeah, that's it really. Like I said, guys, please if you see anything wrong with the list or any improvements, please drop me a message. I'd love to reply and let you guys know if I'll be using it or not. I'll probably post up the night before exactly what my list is and a picture of it with its 3 colours on because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm building all this quite last minute, so it won't be painted to any kind of standard. But yeah, so I know something's wrong. Dan's using it. Yeah. Well, I always like to do something a bit different, but you got to take something broken, haven't you, Mick? You can't turn up with these fluffy lists if you want to get on those top tables. Lovely. All right, so guys, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your advice. Thank you. It's been really good, and yeah, I'll hopefully you'll see what I'm doing on Saturday, and I will speak to you next Monday. But until then, have a great New Year. Go out, have some beers, enjoy yourselves, and yeah, I will see you in 2019 with all of my hobby goodness. See you soon, guys. Bye bye.